Okay, as we start all these things with the old rubber. The rubber chicken never dies.
But it's not rubber. It's like it's stiff. It's boring. Soupy Sales.
40 years ago.
I look like Soupy Sales.
I love Soupy Sales. Toilets and Gewürztraminer is what your dad featured 40 years ago for $4 a bottle, $4 a fifth, and
So that was 77. So I was working there then. I was driving then.
Wow.
I was delivering the wine of the month then.
Oh my goodness.
When I started the first day I started, and I started every run in second gear, and I burned the clutch out the first night.
I see.
That's pretty quick work, huh?
I'm certainly impressed. Anyway, and the quote red was Baron Philippe de Rothschild Mouton Cadet Rosé,
which is, excuse me, which in itself is amazing because of the brand and the fact it's a Bordeaux rosé, because you don't see much of those. But early on,
right? And we did a rosé just a couple of months ago.
And then he did,
and your dad did a rosé
2 months in a row.
2 months in a row, 40 years earlier. Pretty darn amazing.
I'm first.
No.
Yes. Okay. Mocine Super Tuscan.
Mocine Super Tuscan.
So Super Tuscan, in my opinion, means we're going to declassify a grape, grow it in Tuscany, and charge you extra for it.
Well, it's funny because the fact is, this grape could legally be called Chianti. All right, it only has native Tuscan grapes in it. So
this
wine.
Oh, really?
It's principally Sangiovese. It has two other grapes that I'd never heard of before that I looked up, and they're there. They're part of the landscape of Chianti.
No wonder, because I don't see the Bordeaux varietals in here, right? And so that second part of that mid palate is sort of like these unusual flavors.
This is basically Chianti. The guy used the word Super Tuscan because there was a point at which 30 years ago that you could make more money. You could charge more money for a Super Tuscan than you could a Chianti.
Yeah, nowadays it's changed.
Now it's just completely. Well, they changed the law, so all those Super Tuscans are now legally Chiantis.
Now I remember why I like this wine.
It's
such a departure from what you might consider the Cabernet Merlot blends that are grown in Tuscany, and they call them Super Tuscan.
Well, yeah, because they almost taste like Bordeaux.
Right.
Because they get too much Merlot or Cabernet, or sometimes they'll add Syrah, and I don't know what they are.
There's something in this nose that's so intriguing.
Well, these two grapes, one starts with an F and one starts with an M, and that's all I can remember because I'd never heard them before. And, in order for me to do a good job, you're going to have to buy me the new edition of Jancis Robinson's Wines, Grapes, and Vines.
You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
Touchdown, right?
Touchdown, right.
Did you know that the Wine and Myth Club was written about on Jancis Robinson's website?
Well, I could believe that.
My dad was mentioned in the story of him being an Egyptian from Egypt.
Oh, really?
Was
cool.
Written on Jancis Robinson's website 2 weeks ago.
Wow, that's great. I
called him. I said, "Congratulations, you hit the big time. You're 80 years old, and you were just mentioned by Jancis Robbins' editor." I said, "That's pretty amazing to me." It's a great recap of Wine Club. So
anyway,
that's what it takes.
I need the book.
I already have to buy a computer.
You know how much it is?
No.
$110. I went, "Are you kidding me?"
So when was the last time she wrote it?
Well, this is her third incarnation. She just wrote it like a couple of years ago because I've been bugging her for 10 years to write it because the last one she wrote was like 76, and we've discovered a few grapes since then.
Yes. Well, we have one tonight that we get to taste in a couple bottles here. But so here's a Bordeaux. No, red.
Yeah. Oh, this is delicious.
I was like,
this wine is delicious.
Said, "Are you serious?" And he says, "Look, I can only sell it to you." I go, "This is great." He told me the price. I said, "Well," he goes, "but you got to take all 160 cases of it." So
really?
I did, yeah.
Wow.
Because it was such a great wine.
Well, it's interesting. The story about this guy is kind of cool. I mean, he comes from a long background. He's in the appellation of Bordeaux, just plain old Bordeaux, not Bordeaux Superior, not a village, nothing. So I'm guessing it's in Entre de Mer, but the wine has such weight and body because Entre de Mer reds are kind of they're a little light, but this has got such wonderful earthiness.
It's 100% cab,
which
is in itself kind of weird, but you don't know if it's left or right bank, do you?
Well, I would bet it's left bank because they don't grow a lot of Cabernet in the right bank simply because it's cooler there and you have a hard time ripening.
I fell in love with this because of that unique feature that's 100% Cab, and it's sort of a bridge between new and old world. It's got a little bit of that nice mustiness from the old world, but
it's pretty clean wine. One thing it's got going for it is it's 2015, which is one of those magical vintages where you fall off the truck and you make great wine. There's nothing you can't help it.
It's got life. It's gonna age really
fabulous,
gracefully.
fabulous bottle of wine. I mean, I would bet they probably don't make wine this good in most years. But when you have a vintage like 2015, you can't help it.
I don't know if that's even coming back. He never said otherwise, but be able to feature this wine in this club, there's something. I think it was a one-shot deal that came to America. I'm not sure.
$15.99 on a reorder. That's an amazing
Come
deal.
on.
I'm at 97 on that.
Yeah, me too.
Man. Really, that's really a very nice bottle of Bordeaux.
It's so complex.
Now we go to white Bordeaux.
It is not. It's Spanish. Would you? I don't know what you're looking at. You're like dyslexic or something.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at Bordeaux and I'm looking at Emina and I'm putting those together.
Spanish Verdejo.
Verdejo. One of my favorite
Emina.
grapes in the world. Oh God, just smell that. Just smell that.
Rueda.
That is so incredible.
Okay, so
it's 100 points.
This book I'm telling you about, Dan Barber, farm to table chef in New York, very famous place, Blue Hill Farms. He goes to Spain because the foie gras from the Spanish geese raiser, it's goose foie gras. They can't believe that these aren't force-fed animals with this beautiful foie gras he's creating.
Really?
Yeah, it's an amazing story. And he goes there and they're looking at what the thing is eating and how the geese decide where they're going to eat and what's happened over time. And so this guy
Do they have their own tables named after them?
Yeah, basically, he treats them like people.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's in Spain, and the French are like, "What are you getting this foie gras?" This is a foie
Oh
gras.
God, yeah, I'm sure they're doing somersaults.
C'est très bon, you know. But good stuff, and this is
Just shut up and smell it. Just smell that wine.
wow.
Just tell me that isn't unbelievable. Just in the nose. I mean, it's got orange peel. It's got lemon rind. It's got apples and pears.
I struggled through the list of wines that we've tasted to find something for this spot, and I looked at this. I go, wait a minute, I remember this wine. I'm like, why didn't I buy this before?
This is absolute perfection. You're never going to get a better Verdejo than this. Really, I'm serious. It's just absolutely one of the best wines you'll ever drink. Okay.
98 for me, yeah.
$24.99 on the shelf, $13.99, 100 points, 100 points. That's it. It's perfection. This doesn't get any better. Tell me you ever had a better Verdejo than this, ever.
By the way, folks, I do not pay him by the point.
He doesn't pay me at all.
Yeah, well, besides that, and there's that, of course.
Oh man, I could smell this wine
You could
all
just
day.
keep
I could just smell it all day, and it puts a smile on my face. Wow,
please.
that's phenomenal.
Is that what you call that, a smile?
That's what I call it, Sonny.
Put a smile on my face. Yeah, I smile.
That's quite a face to put a smile on. That's for sure. Okay.
Yeah, some of the old jokes never die. You know what I'm saying? They're just classics.
Like Pecorino.
So, God, this is one of the most elegant wines.
Now, right about this time in the movie, Eric Idle would jump into the scene and go, now for something completely different.
Jeez. This is where I really love the Italian white varietals.
Wow.
We were talking earlier about some obscure varietals. This is not so obscure, but you don't taste a lot of it.
It's pretty obscure, okay?
There's already a new vintage out, but the depth of this vintage and the color, it's
well,
beautiful.
it's kind of, it reminds me, because of its scarcity of the Ribolla Giallo we did last month,
right,
you know,
yeah.
because you don't see that very often, you know. But wow. And now, are there two different wines in the world than the two we just tasted?
No.
I mean, think about it. I mean, those
Right.
wines are so different. They're so far
And
apart.
both great in their
Both
own right.
delicious and
But
both.
the elegance and the complexity of this is
Yeah, this is
blowing
pretty.
me away.
This is crazy. This is really
This
nuts.
is a 98 for me.
$24.99 on the shelf, $13.99 reorder price.
So let me ask you a question.
97.
Would you walk into a wine shop, if you're a reasonably educated wine drinker, not just, you know what you like, you understand a little bit about the cabs and all those things, and the guy says, hey, trace this Pecorino, and what does he slap you?
Well, no, I mean, I'd ask him what it tastes like, and then what he or she should ask me is, what do you like? You know, that's the first question I always ask
But
somebody.
wouldn't it be something I like to be experimental?
Well, if you want to be experimental, and some people are, but you kind of want to, you want to keep them in their comfort zone, you know.
So
I
Lisa took us we went to New York. Lisa took us on the train to Brooklyn, a little wine shop, no bigger than the studio, and she says, "Come on, Dad, let's buy this wine. I want to taste it." I said, "Okay." So I reached to the bottom shelf. It's a Sicilian Nero d'Avola. It didn't say the varietals on it, but assuming that's what it is. And she goes, "It's Dad, it's bush vines," which I was impressed that my daughter knew what that was. Natural yeast, and no.
Ooh,
and
boy,
no
they're really
manipulation.
playing with fire.
And so I put it up on the thing first of all, and the woman rings it up. She goes, $75.
Oh,
Like what?
Holy
For
man.
Sicilian red, $75. I said,
Yeah,
okay.
and they're closer to Sicily than we are.
And so I take it to the hotel, and it's terrible. It's
Oh, you're
absolutely
kidding.
terrible.
Oh, God, no, that's
And
terrible.
my daughter goes, "But Dad, it's cool because it's I said, "Who cares?"
Yeah.
I don't care if it's got a bush grapes or if it's natural yeast or not. A lot of wines are made on natural yeast.
Whose fault is this?
No.
Whose
I'm
fault?
like, come on, Lisa.
Whose dad is in the wine business?
Yeah, she's a very talented cook and
Yeah.
chef, and so she's like the story is important, but not that important.
No, it's
Anyway.
all about the story.
Jeez.
And the story
Anyway.
on this is it's fabulous. $13.99. I'm doing a 94, 96.
I'm a
I
98.
love it.
I love it.
God, what a
Cheers.
great nose. Anyway, that's the limited series for 2017.